We're learning more about the circumstances of a violent arrest in Shelby that led to an officer being fired today. David Schuman's been following the story and has the latest and a warning that some of this video may be difficult to watch.
Shelby's chief of police called this arrest caught on Ring doorbell camera disturbing and unacceptable. An officer is seen repeatedly striking a woman as she appears to clutch at him.
Let go! Let go! Let go! I got it! I got it! I got it!
Saturday morning, roughly 24 hours after what happened,
the officer involved in this incident has been terminated from employment with the Shelby Police Department.
The woman in the video is Cherrie Moore. Her stepmother told Queen City News her daughter isn't doing well and doesn't think firing the officer goes far enough. On Friday, Moore's father joined a protest on her behalf.
It was not called for her. She was crying out for help. She said, I'm not been taking my medicine.
Moore was charged with 3 misdemeanors: breaking or entering, resisting a public officer, and assaulting a government official. Her arrest records identify the officer as Karson Hyder. Court documents say Cherrie ran from now former Officer Hyder as he was trying to arrest her for breaking into a house on this street. The assault charge states she was, quote, grabbing and ripping his uniform. Neighbors who have seen the video view it differently.
Something really need to be done around here about that, man. The way these people are doing people, man. And just beat a woman, you beat a woman.
Think about if that would have been your child. How would you feel right about now if you was in my shoes?
The State Bureau of Investigation is reviewing the case for any criminal violations by Hyder.
While yesterday's incident was disturbing and is still raw and difficult to understand, today marks the beginning of a path forward to repair the damage that has been done.
We tried to reach Hyder for comment and were told he wasn't available. In Shelby, David Schuman, Queen City News.
Court records show Moore and Hyder have a history together. She pleaded guilty last.
Wow. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They got a history together? Whoa, wait a minute, cuz.
Year to resisting an officer in a case involving Hyder.
Okay. All right. 1 cop, 1 woman, no weapon, no threat. He knew her, but just a man with a badge who lost his mind, right? And a doorbell camera that caught everything. We're talking about this right now, okay? This video is wild, right? What's good, everybody? I'm coming at you from right outside Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the channel where we don't sugarcoat anything, okay? We don't pick a side just because it's popular, and we talk about what's actually happening in this country. Unfiltered, no agenda, straight conversation, okay? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and hit the bell, because today we're dropping about 10 videos covering the biggest stories happening right now. This is video 1, and I promise you it only gets wilder from here, okay? Now, what you just watched, let's talk about it, okay? That was a lot, right? That was like Shelby, North Carolina. It's a small city about an hour west of Charlotte. Officer Hyder is on patrol, according to police chief, and was conducting a criminal investigation when they spotted what they call a suspicious female in the area. Suspicious, just existing in the area. That's how this whole thing started. But Officer Hyder did approach a 34-year-old Cherrie Moore. Something goes sideways in the interaction. She doesn't comply the way he wants, and instead of using literally any of the tools available to him, like backup, de-escalating, restraint techniques, he goes straight into punching, right? And it's crazy, right? On a doorbell camera in broad daylight in front of somebody's house. Who would have thought that he would do something like that, man? And here's what makes it worse. It wasn't a quick struggle that got out of hand. It kept going repeatedly. It even took a second officer physically coming over and pulling him off her to make it stop. Like, not a verbal command, not a warning. Another cop had to physically grab him and pull him off this woman, right? At first, you could hear the officer saying, stop. All right, stop. And then he was like kind of pushing it towards the officer. Like, what are you doing? Like, you gotta get up off this woman, man. What's wrong with you, right? Uh, so Cherrie Moore walked away with a broken nose and 2 black eyes, man. Can you believe that? Just punching a woman? That's crazy, man. So now here's what she was saying while they were handcuffing her. After all this, she told them she was off her medication. She asked them to call her father. I don't know if you saw the father in the protest, right? She wasn't threatening anybody. She was a person in a mental health crisis asking for help, right? The department fired Officer Hyder the very next day. And then, this is important, they charged him with assault because a badge doesn't change what that was. That was assault, plain and simple. Now, let me be real with y'all for a second because this one here is personal for me. All right. I'm a veteran. I served this country. And one of the things they drill into you from day one, whether it's military or law enforcement training, which I have had some law enforcement training, right, is how to control a situation without losing yourself in it. That is literally the job description. You're specifically trained to handle resistance, to manage chaos like this, right? To keep your composure when everybody else is losing theirs, right? That's what separates a trained officer from a regular civilian in a confrontation. Training, judgment, options. This man had all of that available to him. He had a radio, he had backup, he had training, he had a whole department behind him, and he chose his fists. That tells me one of two things. Either his training failed him completely, which means the department has a problem that goes beyond one officer, or he knew exactly what he was doing and thought nobody was watching, which means he has a problem that goes way deeper than this one incident. Either way, Cherrie Moore is the one who paid the price with her face. And I need to address something right now because I already know some people are going to come in the comments with, well, what was she doing? All right, she was burglarizing the house, right? Why didn't she comply? Okay, she knew the officer, at least that's what they said in the video. I don't care what she was doing. The moment you are a trained law enforcement officer throwing repeated punches at someone who is not armed, who is on the ground, who is asking you to call their father, you are the problem in that moment. Full stop. You don't get to hide behind a badge for that. So now I want to give credit where credit is due. First, to the second officer that came that was trying to get him off. I understand, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just, you got to deal with the situation at hand. But because the system actually moved on this one faster than it actually does. So I give y'all credit for that, right? He was fired within the first 24 hours of the video going viral. The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation launched an independent criminal review on top of the department's own investigation, and he got charged with assault. That is more accountability than we see in a lot of these situations, and I think that needs to be acknowledged. But here's the question that won't leave my head no matter how I look at this. The only reason any of this happened, the firing, the charges, the investigation, all of it is because somebody had a doorbell camera pointed at the right spot at the right time. If that camera wasn't there, what happens to Cherrie Moore? Does she still get charged with resisting arrest and assault? Does she sit in the cell with a broken nose while he writes a report that tells a completely different story? Does anybody believe her words over this? We all know the answer to that, right? So the real conversation isn't just about Karson Hyder. It's about what's happening in the thousands of interactions that don't get caught on camera every single day across this country. Because this didn't happen because one officer is uniquely evil. This happened because in too many departments, in too many situations, the culture creates people who think they can get away with it. Cameras are changing that slowly, but they're changing it. And until that culture changes, cameras are all we've got. So I want to hear from y'all on this one, right? Drop it in the comments right now. Was firing him and charging him enough, or does accountability need to go further? And the big question, if the camera wasn't there, what happens to Cherrie Moore? So if you're in law enforcement, active or retired, any department, I genuinely want your perspective in the comments. Not the defensive response, not the most cops are good deflection. I already know most cops are good. I want to know what you think when you see a clip like that. What went wrong? What should have happened differently? because those conversations are the ones that actually move things forward. Drop it below. I read every single comment. And do not go anywhere because video 2 is coming right up. And this one made me personally heat. A woman in Pennsylvania, fake terminal brain cancer. Let people think she was dying, set up a donation page, and use that money to take luxury trips to Australia. And she has been on the run from the FBI for 8 years. So I got something personal to say about scammers, and I'm not holding back. Video 2, let's go. All right. If this video hits different, share it. If you're not subscribed, you can do that right now. Or hype me up, man. Hit the bell so you can catch all 10 videos today. And I'm with, and let's keep it moving.